Hey, BookTube, Sean here, coming to you with what is now a 2-week update. I didn't have a weekly update last week. I was out of town for the Labor Day weekend through about the middle of the week, and this is really the first chance I've had to film anything since then. So, but not a whole lot. I didn't really have a whole lot to update on last week anyway. In these 2 weeks, I have finished one book. So this is actually going to end up probably being more of a haul and am reading video than a what I finished video. Just haven't had a ton of time to read. Seriously, I don't know how a lot of booktubers get 4 or 5 books read every week. It just seems insane to me. Life just doesn't work like that for me. Even when I feel like I'm going to have a ton of time to myself to read, it just doesn't end up working out like that. And some days I just don't feel like reading. I feel like doing other things that I enjoy. So anyway, the book that I finished is an ARC copy of The Revenant Winds by Mitchell Hogan. It's the first book in his new Tainted Cabal series. And that actually came out this past Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, this past Tuesday. And I really, I loved the book. I really did. I actually will be having, I'm not going to talk a ton about it because I am going to be recording a review video of that this week. The review is already up on my blog and my Goodreads. And I put one up on Amazon too because he had requested Amazon reviews. So I don't normally review on Amazon, but he requested it, so I did that for him. And what's cool is I get to stay on his ARC list now. So whenever he's got an ARC, I will be on his list to send the ARC to. So I'm really excited about that because he's an author I really enjoy. That book is basically about 3 strangers who end up in this web, caught in this web towards a destiny together to combat an evil sorceress regime bent on bringing back an evil overlord from imprisonment. And that's it. That's the book that I finished in these past two weeks, and I actually finished that before the holiday weekend. And then Sunday I went out of town, visit some friends in Ohio, and my wife and I had tickets on Tuesday night to see Epica in Cleveland. It's a symphonic metal band that we really enjoy. It's actually how I was able to get her into metal, because Epica is a female fronted metal band with symphonic elements, and she really got into them and kind of gatewayed her into metal. So for the first time in the 15 years we've been together, be married 13 years next month, she's into one of the major kind of musics that I enjoy. So I'm excited about that. So I get to go to a lot more concerts now because she wants to go to them too. Anyway, books I've picked up in the past couple weeks, that's actually more interesting than the one book that I finished. First book I picked up a copy of the Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio. Adam at Mementomori is doing a month-long read-along of this. I doubt I will finish it within the month, but it sounded really interesting. It's basically a collection of short stories from the 14th century. 10 people are kind of trapped together during the plague, and every day they tell stories to each other. And these are the stories that they tell to each other. This translation is a more recent translation. It's by Wayne E. Rebhorn, and actually Steve Donahue has a blurb in this, so that's kind of cool to see a booktuber's blurb in a book. So, but yeah, it sounded interesting to me. I've always wanted to get into some real classics of literature. and it seemed like a good opportunity to pick something like this up. Like I said, I probably won't finish it in the month of September, but it gave me an excuse to finally pick something like this up. The next thing I picked up was Miss Bunkle's book by D.E. Stevenson. I saw this on Russell's channel, Ink and Paper Blog, and it just sounded like a really just interesting story. It's about a woman who writes a book, and the characters in the book are kind of the characters in her small town, and then they start to realize that they are the characters in the book, and it just sounded kind of cute and fun. So I enjoy just good stories like that. So I really hope I really like this, because look at this cover. This cover is outstanding, and all of D.E. Stevenson's books have these beautiful art covers like this. So I really hope I get into it, because I'd like to collect all these covers. Next, when we were in Cleveland, we went to a used bookstore called Longberries, and I actually heard about it on Olive's channel, a Book Olive. She said she had gone there, and it was really cool, and it really was. It was just wall-to-wall, floor-to-ceiling books, and it was outstanding. And my wife even found some stuff there in their theater section. She picked up some plays, and my wife is not a reader except of plays. She likes to read plays. So she even found some stuff there to pick up. So I was really excited about that. But the first couple things I got is I collect classic movie star biographies. I love the movies of Hollywood's golden era. And for years, I have... one of the first things I do in a used bookstore or at a thrift store or something is I look for classic movie star or library sales. Library sales are great for these. I look for classic movie star biographies because I just kind of collect them. Someday I'll read all of them, but I just collect them. And first one I got is Hello, I Must Be Going, Groucho and His Friends. It's Charlotte Chandler's biography of Groucho Marx. And what's really cool about this, and there's no way to verify that it is authentic, but it is marked as signed, and it looks like we have Charlotte Chandler's signature in there. So I'm excited about this. I've been looking for this one for a long time. I have read her biography of Ingrid Bergman, and I really enjoyed that. So when I found out she had a Groucho biography, I've been looking for it for a long time, so I was really happy to find it. The other one I picked up is Ingrid Bergman's autobiography. As I just said, I read Ingrid Bergman's biography written by Charlotte Chandler, and Ingrid Bergman is one of my favorite actresses because, one, because she's great, and two, she is the lead actress in my favorite movie, which is Casablanca. I absolutely love Casablanca. It's my favorite movie of all time, and so I grab any Ingrid Bergman biography I can find, especially to read the sections that talk about her time filming Casablanca. Next thing I picked up at Longberries was The Blind Assassin by Margaret Atwood. I don't know a whole lot about this book. The blurb's really quick, so I'll just read that. More than 50 years on, Iris chases remembering Laura's mysterious death. And so begins an extraordinary and compelling story of two sisters and their secrets. Set against the panoramic backdrop of 20th century history, The Blind Assassin is an epic tale of memory, intrigue, and betrayal. I wanted to pick this up because one of my personal reading projects is to read Man Booker winners starting from 2000 to current. And this is the 2000 Man Booker Award winner. Next, that's all the books that I picked up. I'm not going to go through the plays my wife got because they're hers. They're not mine. They're ours. They go in our play collection, but she wanted them. So the next thing I got, and I didn't realize this was coming this week. I had pre-ordered Cixin Liu's Death's End translated by Ken Liu. This is the third book in the Three Body trilogy. So I'm happy to have this because I have the other two, the Three Body Problem and the Dark Forest, in the same trade paperback editions. So now I can, now it's going to be much easier for me to like marathon this series if I choose to, because I have all three. And next one I just got out of the mail today, actually. I ordered cat food and a book, and they came today. This is not the cover I thought I was getting. The cover on Amazon is different than this. This is actually ended up being the UK edition. I don't know how that happens, but the book is Radio Girls by Sarah Jane Stratford. And I'll just read the back real quick because it's the description of the book that got me interested. It's a historical fiction book. London, 1926. Maisie Musgrave is thrilled to land a job at the fledgling British Broadcasting Corporation, whose new and electrifying radio network is captivating the nation. Famous writers, scientists, politicians, the BBC is broadcasting them all. But behind the scenes, Maisie is drawn into a battle of wills being fought by her two bosses. John Wraith, the formidable Director General, and Hilda Matheson, the extraordinary Director of Talks Programming, envisage very different futures for radio. And when Maisie unearths a shocking conspiracy, she and Hilda join forces to make their voices heard both on and off the air. That just sounded really, really interesting to me. Early days of radio is a big interest of mine. I wish we see it kind of in podcasts now, but BBC still does the old style radio broadcasting. They still do radio sketch comedy. I just know that because two of my favorite British comedians, David Mitchell and Robert Webb, for years were still doing a sketch comedy radio broadcast on there, and I've been able to acquire most of the seasons of that, called that Mitchell and Webb Sound. Just hilarious stuff. So the fact that the BBC still does that stuff on the air, whereas you kind of got to go to podcasts, and even podcasts really aren't doing a ton of that. And if you know of podcasts that are doing that kind of thing, sketch comedy and old time radio drama, that like new stuff, not like rebroadcasting old ones, let me know, because I'd really be interested in listening to those. And that's it for the books that I purchased. I have kind of a library haul too. Again, library books. I'm trying to get better at being a better library reader, because I'll spend less money on books, honestly, and I'm getting to a time where where money is getting a little bit tighter. So first thing I picked up is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I don't know how you pronounce those two letters. This has been a popular book on BookTube, and for some reason I dismissed it kind of as a YA contemporary, and it's not. But her new book is going to be, it hasn't come yet, but her new book is coming to me through Book of the Month Club. It was my choice. I picked it for Book of the Month Club, so I wanted to read her first book. And I did read the first couple pages, and I really like her writing style. It's really easy to read. So I kind of hope I can get through this. I should be able to renew it. I don't think I'm going to have any problem renewing this one, so I will eventually get to it over the next couple months. I'm running out of space. Next thing I picked up, I've been kind of getting in a historical fiction mood. I kind of, when fall approaches, I start thinking, I want to start thinking horror, because October, Halloween. And for some reason, when the leaves start to change, and when as fall is approaching, I start getting into a historical fiction mood. So next thing I picked up was The Wicked City by Beatrice Williams. I don't know a ton about this book, but it is set in the 1920s, and I'm a sucker for the 1920s. So I wanted to check that out. The Lonely Hearts Hotel by Heather O'Neill. Again, the cover kind of drew me to this one. I don't know a ton about it, and honestly, I see this side sitting in the back of April Getting Hygge with It's channel all the time, and so I've kind of been curious to check it out and see what it is. But it is about a piano player and a dancer and comedian who it's kind of a romance story. They fall in love young and they get separated, and I think it's their journey back together. But it kind of sounded interesting to me, and like I said, the cover really drew me into this one. So hopefully I can get to it. Next thing I got at the library is my hold for See What I Have Done came in. So I actually really need to get going on this because it's only a 14-day loan, and I probably will not be able to renew this. There's probably going to be a hold list on this. They just got it in, and I think I was at the top of the hold list because I put it on hold a long time ago. So I think once they finally got a copy in, I was at the top of the list. So I need to try and get to this. This is a historical fiction about Lizzie Borden. So really want to get to that. I also checked out Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I don't think I need to say anything about this. This is been all over Booktube for a few months, but it is one I do want to check out because I kind of want to do a book to movie comparison on this because it's also a classic movie that I've never watched and I've always wanted to. So, and then the next thing I picked up, still in a historical fiction mood, is A Dangerous Inheritance, a novel of Tudor rivals and the Secret of the Tower by Alison Weir. And again, just out of curiosity, I wanted to check out the author, basically, and they had this one in. So that's it. That's the books I've picked up, purchase and library. So that covers the book haul portion. I feel 2 weeks. I'm feeling a bit and I'm feeling rusty at making YouTube videos. But other than that, I haven't not finished Stone Sky yet. As I said, I haven't had a ton of time to read. I guess you could say I've been feeling a little slumpy too, but I'm kind of haven't been liking the term slumpy lately. I'm actually going to do a discussion video on this, but it's not that I've been slumpy. It's just that I think I've just felt like doing with the little time I've had to myself, I have felt like doing other things that I enjoy that are not reading. So I think that's what's been going on. But I gotta have a buddy read going on right now with Julie at A Girl in a Book and Rachel at The Shades of Orange. Rachel's actually already finished the book. For Joe Abercrombie's The Blade Itself. I'm about 130 pages into that. I'm really enjoying that. That's excuse me. That is I'm not sure exactly what it's about yet, but it's a grimdark fantasy, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm hoping to get back into it today. Julie and I both kind of took a little time off for the end of the week because she knew I didn't have a ton of time to read, and she had another buddy read going on. So we kind of paused on it for the rest of the week, and we're picking it back up today. So I'm hoping I can finish that this week, and I'd love to get in to See What I Have Done and get that finished up this week because I have other things I'd like to pick up too. I'd love to finish Stone Sky too, but I've also been advised by some other booktubers who have finished it, Rhea in particular, that to take my time with it because it will crush. It's like soul crushing. It's not that it's bad, just it's that good that it's kind of emotionally wrecking. So she said, take my time with it. Anyway, other than that, I'm going to have a couple of videos going up this week. The review for Revenant Winds and probably a discussion video about reading slumps that I've kind of got on my mind. But if you can't wait for my video review of Revenant Winds, you can always pop on over to my blog. It's linked below, and I have the review up there. It'll actually probably be better worded than what my speech will be, which is why I do the blog, because I can write better than I talk. But other than that, after The Blade itself, Julie and I are going to be reading The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. We kind of paused. We kind of put a hold on that to do The Blade itself with Rachel. So, other than that, I don't know what I'm going to end up picking up. Just kind of whatever the mood strikes me to pick up, and I'll talk to you next week about what that is. So, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you to all my subscribers for watching and continue to watch. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm happy to have you, and I wish you all good reading. I'll see you in my next video.